What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Pick Six channel, and let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Early this morning, the Steelers decided to trade away George Pickens to the Dallas Cowboys for a third and a fifth round pick. Now, this actually happened really early in the morning. I'm not exactly sure the time. I think it was like 6 a.m. Eastern time, something like that. It was pretty damn early. But yeah, they got rid of him. And they traded him for draft capital after the draft. Yeah, makes perfect sense. It makes absolutely. Oh man, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with the team, man. Ah, there's so much uncertainty. Why did I say it like that? Anyways, um, not really much to be optimistic about. Not much to be optimistic about. It seemed like a hole in the Steelers offense was finally filled when they traded for DK. Um, and it seemed like, the offense might actually do something. Even though the quarterback situation, big question mark. Running back position, big question mark. But the receiving core actually looked pretty good when you had Pickens and Metcalf on the roster. The Steelers decided to not even see what that would have looked like. That's the frustrating part. They finally had a chance to have potentially a good offense. The Steelers have the highest paid defense in the league. And they have a chance to finally get at least a good offense for the first time in years. In years. And then they get rid of Pickens. And I get it. The player issues, the attitude problems, being late to practice, I get all that. Man, it seems like it happens with every single talented receiver the Steelers get or draft. So, I don't know. And you know what? For Dallas, for all the Cowboy fans out there, this trade could either end up really good or really bad. There is no in between. No in between. Pickens has definitely shown flashes of talent. He's definitely a talented receiver. I think he actually has the skills to be a top receiver in the league. Maybe having a quarterback like Dak Prescott will help. Because it's not like Pickens had the best quarterback rooms in his career. He had Kenny Pickett throwing to him. He had Mitch Trubisky throwing to him, Mason Rudolph, Justin Fields, and Russell Wilson. That's not the most ideal situation to be in. And, just the whole offensive coordinator stuff. So maybe a trade was needed for Pickens' career. So hopefully he takes advantage of that. I actually hope he does well in Dallas. There's just like I don't have a problem with Pickens or anything like that. I actually kind of like the him being on the Steelers. But anyways, back to the Steelers part. They couldn't at least try to get him for a second rounder. You traded Chase Claypool for a second rounder to the Bears. You couldn't do that with Pickens. Pickens had a better resume than Claypool did. And you couldn't try to get a second rounder out of Dallas? And the fact that you do it for draft capital not even a week after the draft makes zero sense. Now I understand that the draft is in Pittsburgh next year. Maybe they're trying to get a whole bunch of picks. That's what it sounds like. The Steelers are trying to get a whole bunch of picks for next year just because it's in Pittsburgh. That's honestly my guess. because they are going to have a lot of draft picks, some draft capital for next year. It seems like they're just going to try to rely on the draft next year. Forget about this year's draft. Well, no, they did pretty good this draft. There's just things about this offseason that I'm just it is frustrating. It is frustrating. It doesn't seem like they're taking the quarterback situation seriously. It doesn't seem like they're taking the running back. You know what? It doesn't seem like they're taking offense seriously at all. At all. Okay? When I was listing out the things, it was pretty much all offensively. So yeah, maybe they're just not taking the offense seriously. You didn't bring back Justin Fields, who I thought was your best option to start this season. Instead, they think the best option is Aaron Rodgers. They let Wilson and Fields walk to try to get Aaron Rodgers, and they haven't even gotten him. Do they sign him? I don't know. I'm not even sure if he wants to sign after what's happened this offseason. Because the Steelers' offense wasn't good last year. And you can make the argument that it's gotten even worse. So, this trade can mean a couple things. Maybe they are just trying to tank. Maybe they are just trying to rebuild. I'm not really sure what the mentality is in the front office within the organization. I'm not too sure. I'm not. I have no idea what the Steelers are trying to do right now. Because again, they have the highest paid defense in the league. How are you going to go on a rebuilding in rebuilding mode when you have the highest paid defense in the league? It makes zero sense. So it's almost like they're too good to rebuild and they're too bad to contend, which is the same thing. They've been in the same situation. I don't know. That's how I see it. Maybe I have things all wrong. But man, this has been a very frustrating off season, especially the way the season ended. Going on that 5-game losing streak. Offense just couldn't get anything going defensively. They weren't doing all that great. And then you get rid of the one bright spot that you had in your offense the last 3 seasons maybe, in George Pickens. The one guy that was making plays, you get rid of him. So I don't know. What do you guys think about this trade? Well, we don't even know if the Steelers won this trade because, I mean, we don't even know the players the Steelers are going to get out of this. So how do you think this trade plays out? Is it going to work for Dallas? Is Pickens in Dallas a good situation? Because again, he's going to be wide receiver 2 to CeeDee Lamb. That's a pretty good wide receiving core already. And what's next for the Steelers? Do they try to get a veteran wide receiver in free agency? Because they can't draft a receiver. That's out of the window. They're going to have to wait till next draft. What's the plan there? We'll have to wait and see, man. As for this, the schedule comes out in a week or two. So I'll definitely be covering that for each team. And I'll also be starting a series. Last year, I did why each team could win the Super Bowl. This year, since this offseason has been so frustrating as a Steeler fan, I'm going to be negative. And I'm going to start a series why each team isn't going to the Super Bowl. Oh, yeah. Last offseason, I was so positive. This offseason, I'm just straight hating. All right, guys. I'll catch you guys later, man. You guys have a good one.